Welcome to the Spy Collection. I'm Anastasios, and as we continue to review the allegedly leaked US intelligence community documents from 2023, we'll have a look at a sitrep from the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the NGA. As always, we are in no position to assess the authenticity of those documents. We are using them as educational tools for our channel and potentially important historical artifacts if they turn out to be real, untampered intelligence products. We have partially reconstructed this document to be easier to navigate, but we kept its main map as a copy of the original one. As mentioned, that was a sitrep of the NGA in collaboration with a European command who was responsible for the area of Ukraine. This intelligence product was from February 24, 2022, and its title was Disposition of Ukraine Armed Forces around Bakhmut on February 24, 2022. Most likely, however, this 2022 was a typo, since, based on the content, the situation appears more relevant to February 24, 2023. As we have seen in numerous other similar Intel products, on the top right we have the map of Ukraine with a red box indicating the area that is enlarged in the main map. And before we move further, it's important to address the lower right segment that says OPIR detections and is accompanied by this legend that goes from dense to sparse. OPIR refers to Overhead Persistent Infrared, which is a capability primarily deployed in spy satellites that monitor specific parts of the Earth for changes in their infrared signatures. OPIR is an intel gathering method that dates back to the Cold War, but of course it has improved a lot over the years. Initially, it was created to quickly identify missile launches, impacts of missiles, explosions, and any other event that will generate a major discrepancy in the thermal signature of a location. However, nowadays OPIR is used for many more use cases that can be observed by analyzing the infrared image of an area, including, but not limited to, environmental monitoring, counter-terrorism activities, and more. If you'd like us to publish a more in-depth video on OPIR, please let us know in the comments below. So what this map is telling us is that the NGA used OPIR data to detect missile launches and strikes in that region. The denser those detections were, the bigger the impact was. Apart from this, the map also includes this legend that tells us what the different symbols mean. That's imagery-derived Ukraine Forces Location, Ukraine-affiliated Tactical Report Ellipse Center, Trenching from all the time, Recent Trenching, Ukrainian Armed Forces line of communication, and breaking it down to line of communication that is controlled and not controlled by the Ukrainian Armed Forces. Now, in the description, we're reading that the Ukraine Armed Forces, UAF, defending Bakhmut, almost certainly lost ground to Russian forces on their northern, left flank and maintained at least one ground line of communication, GLOC, to the west of the city between the 16th and 23rd of February 2023, according to imagery analysis, OPIR, SIGINT, and US-EU Command, Ukraine Coordination Cell information. That's in bold because it's the summary, the bottom line up front of this analytic product. It continues that the UAF reportedly withdrew from a village north of Bakhmut on February 23rd that could effectively sever a secondary GLOC between Bakhmut and the E40M03 and potentially compromise the northern flank of the city. NGA could not confirm the report due to a lack of imagery coverage on February 24th. In addition, the UAF continued construction of fallback positions west of the city in case of a retrograde. Then we have the three highlights, which are: Number 1. The UAF almost certainly lost control of the village of Paraskovivka, resulting in a new front line on the Bakhmut northern left flank that shifted south of the intersection of the E40M03 and the T0513. Number 2. The UAF maintained control of the center of Bakhmut and the paved O0506 road west of the city to Kostiantynivka through Chasiv Yar. In addition, the UAF continued construction of new fallback positions in the area west of Bakhmut in case of a retrograde from the city. And number 3. According to US-EU Command Ukraine Coordination Cell information from February 24th, the UAF withdrew from Berhivka, a village of the Bakhmut northern flank, on February 23rd. If the UAF withdrew from Berhivka, it would effectively sever the unpaved 00508 GLOC connecting Bakhmut and the E40 M03. In addition, NGA assesses that if the 00508 is severed, the UAF positions along the 00508 would lose their GLOC with Bakhmut. And that was our today's artifact from the allegedly leaked US intelligence community documents from 2023. For anyone curious, at the time of this recording, Bakhmut is under the control of the Russian forces. Note, however, that this is based entirely on open source information, so that might be inaccurate. Please let us know in the comments below if we missed any important points from this document that need more attention. Here we saw how NGA combined SIGINT with military information and overhead spying capabilities like the OPIR that we mentioned to produce the SITREP and ensure the United States military leaders and policymakers are fully aware of the situation in the front lines. There are many more such overhead intelligence collection capabilities that we'll be covering in future episodes and clearly show how nothing's as it seems.